Chosen one, stop scrolling right now. Lock your attention on this exact message. Do not let your mind wander for even a second. The algorithm did not bring you here today. This is a divine intersection orchestrated specifically for you. You are here because heaven has a direct message about the strange heaviness you have been carrying. I am speaking directly to your soul. You feel incredibly tired. Your bones ache. The exhaustion is absolutely real. And even when you sleep for 8 solid hours, you wake up feeling like you just ran a marathon in the dark. Your chest feels unusually tight. Your head is constantly spinning. You thought you were getting sick, but medical tests will not show what is actually happening inside your physical body. You are experiencing a profound spiritual drain. The people around you suddenly feel incredibly distant. Simple conversations drain your energy in a matter of minutes. You sit in a room full of your own friends or family and feel entirely alone. And lately you have been crying for reasons you cannot even explain to yourself. The tears just fall without any warning. The sudden sadness feels completely overwhelming and deeply confusing. But I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. This strange isolation is not loneliness. This sudden exhaustion is not clinical depression. You are not losing your mind, and you are absolutely not falling apart. You are a spiritual shield. For the past 72 hours, your spirit has been absorbing the chaotic and toxic energy of everyone around you. You have been fighting intense battles in the unseen realm, while your physical body attempts to rest. Heaven allowed this intense pressure for a very specific reason. You were intentionally placed inside the crucible. You just went through the hardest and most rigorous spiritual test of your entire existence. The universe pushed you to your absolute breaking point to see if you would finally fold. They wanted to see if your radiant light would extinguish under the crushing weight of betrayal and misunderstanding. Think about the people who walked away from you recently. Think about the ones who misunderstood your silence and judged your distance. You gave them your pure energy. You helped them heal their brokenness. And the moment you needed a safe harbor, they abandoned you. That betrayal was not an accident. That was a calculated move by the enemy to break your spirit and make you doubt your divine calling. But you did not break. You stood your ground. You kept your heart incredibly soft in a world that tried repeatedly to make you bitter. You smiled and helped others while you were secretly bleeding inside. That is the ultimate mark of a true cycle breaker. You endured the silent warfare without demanding applause or recognition from the people who actively hurt you. You passed the test of quiet endurance. You have carried the heavy burdens of your ancestors for far too long. You broke generational curses that your parents and grandparents were too afraid to even acknowledge. That kind of profound spiritual work requires a toll. It demands everything from you. But the Supreme Creator is stepping in right now to tell you that your debt is fully paid. You are entirely clear. Because of your quiet endurance, a massive shift has just occurred. The spiritual atmosphere around you is literally cracking open. The season of you being a footstool for the fragile ego of other people is permanently over. The heavy mantle of survival mode is being lifted off your shoulders in this exact moment. You are crossing an invisible and sacred threshold right now. The universe is responding to your vibration. God has witnessed every single one of your silent tears, and heaven has just issued a supreme decree. There is a massive reward attached to the intense pain you just survived. But you must deeply understand the exact nature of this reward before you try to claim it. If you do not understand what heaven is releasing today, the enemy will try to trick you and snatch it away from you again. There is a hidden frequency to this upcoming blessing. I am about to reveal the exact words God spoke over your life this very morning. What I am going to tell you next will finally make sense of every single door that slammed shut in your face recently. The system desperately wants to keep this specific revelation hidden from you. They are terrified of what happens when you discover your true authority. I need you to stay with me until the very final breath of this message. Do not click away. Do not let the matrix distract your precious attention. Take one deep breath slowly. Drop your tense shoulders and open your physical hands. Prepare your spirit to receive the divine validation that you have been crying out for in the cold and lonely dark. The pain is finally over. You looked around your life recently and saw nothing but empty spaces. The people you trusted suddenly vanished without a single trace. Opportunities you worked so hard for slipped right through your fingers. You watched doors slam shut one after another, and in that terrifying silence, you convinced yourself that you had done something terribly wrong because the system trained you to take the blame for everything. You thought the universe was punishing you for a hidden mistake. You looked at the heavy isolation and believed you were fundamentally broken. But God's delay is never a denial. It is absolute exactness. Your current isolation is not a punishment at all. It is a divine quarantine designed specifically to protect your fragile frequency from further harm. The people who walked away from you were never meant to stay. They were temporary attachments assigned to teach you a painful lesson about personal boundaries. You tried desperately to hold on to them. You compromised your own bright light just to make them feel comfortable in the dark, and you ignored your deep intuition just to keep the fragile peace. But heaven stepped in and forced a complete separation. Why did the universe forcibly remove those people from your path? Because the mega deposit heaven is about to release is incredibly heavy. It requires strong and loyal hands. The fake friends and energy vampires in your inner circle would have stolen your beautiful harvest immediately. They would have poisoned the fresh soil of your new season. You are a masterpiece of God. A rare and sacred vessel like you simply cannot be placed in a room full of people who are committed to misunderstanding your immense spiritual value. The Creator saw the hidden jealousy lurking in their hearts. God saw the traps they were silently setting behind your back. So, heaven aggressively cleared the entire room. Those sudden and painful rejections were actually acts of fierce divine protection. The jobs you lost and the relationships that shattered were saving your spiritual life. You prayed for a seat at their table, but God looked closely at that table, saw the poison hidden in their cups, and completely flipped it over. You were saved from a massive and devastating disaster. Now you sit entirely alone in the quiet. The silence feels deafening at first. But in this deep and profound stillness, your weary spirit is finally calibrating and your energy is rising to match the frequency of supreme abundance. The massive empty space around you right now is completely intentional. It is the exact landing pad for your ultimate blessing. You must stop mourning the loss of those fake connections today. Stop crying over the people who used your deep trauma for their own selfish entertainment. Let them walk away and never look back. Let them assume whatever they want to assume about your sudden quiet distance. You are entering a sacred and untouchable sanctuary of pure peace. I need you to pause and really hear this next part. The specific blessing with your name on it requires a completely pure atmosphere to manifest properly. You cannot pour fresh and holy water into a deeply contaminated vessel. God had to break your old reality into tiny pieces so he could build an impenetrable fortress around your brand new identity. The system desperately wants you to feel rejected and small. The Matrix wants you to crawl back and beg for the tiny crumbs of their fake approval. But you are a mighty cycle breaker. You carry the royal bloodline of a quiet victor. You do not belong in the shallow waters where the spiritual sleepers reside, because you were always meant to navigate the deep and boundless ocean. The separation hurt deeply because you loved them with a pure heart. You gave them a version of yourself that they absolutely did not deserve, but the Holy Spirit loved you enough to sever those toxic spiritual ties permanently. God broke your heart momentarily to save your precious soul for eternity. That is the ultimate act of divine mercy. Your spiritual shift is completely ready right now, but before I reveal the exact nature of the reward coming your way, you must deeply understand your enemy. There is a specific reason why those people acted the way they did. There is a dark and hidden mechanism that the Matrix uses to drain chosen ones exactly like you. If you do not understand this hidden trap, you will mishandle the massive blessing and you will accidentally invite the parasites back into your sacred space. Listen carefully. The universe is preparing a magnificent table for you right in front of your enemies. But you must learn how to protect the feast. Take a slow, deep breath and stay perfectly focused. There is a very specific reason why the people you helped ended up betraying you. It was not a random act of human cruelty. The system operates on a hidden frequency that feeds entirely on your bright light. You are a massive threat to the dark matrix. And when the spiritual realm recognizes your immense power, the enemy deploys strategic agents to intentionally derail your divine assignment. These dark agents do not look like monsters. They look exactly like your trusted friends and family. They come to you disguised as broken people who desperately need your divine healing. You feel incredibly deep compassion for their pain. You pour your sacred energy into their empty vessels. But they never actually wanted to heal. They only wanted to drain your life force completely dry. The Matrix knows it cannot defeat you in a fair and open fight. You are a discerning warrior with incredibly strong spiritual armor. So, the enemy uses a mechanism of silent infiltration instead. They attach themselves secretly to your immense empathy. They make you feel highly responsible for their constant emotional chaos and their endless daily dramas. And they slowly siphon your beautiful strength away. Every time you listen to their endless complaints, a spiritual cord was firmly attached to your soul. They dumped their heavy burdens directly onto your shoulders. They walked away feeling incredibly light and completely refreshed. But you were left struggling to breathe under the massive weight of their unhealed trauma. You literally became their personal, energetic dumping ground. This is exactly how the dark system keeps the chosen ones completely trapped in survival mode. The enemy keeps you so exhausted fighting their battles that you cannot focus on your own divine purpose. You wake up every single day with barely enough energy to survive the passing hours. And you entirely forget the royal and magnificent bloodline that flows deep inside your veins. But heaven did not leave you defenseless in this brutal spiritual warfare. The Supreme Creator gave you the powerful gift of intense discernment. You started to notice the strange and subtle shifts in their toxic behavior. You saw how their eyes turned incredibly cold when you experienced a personal victory. They absolutely never actually celebrated your magnificent personal wins. They only loved you when you were actively serving their endless and selfish needs. The moment you tried to set a gentle boundary, they immediately turned against you. They launched a vicious smear campaign to completely ruin your good name. They whispered terrible lies in the dark, because they were absolutely terrified of your awakening light. They panicked completely when they lost their absolute control. Gently, like this video right now, not for an algorithm, but as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in perfect alignment. Let this simple action serve as a strong spiritual seal against their dark attacks. You are taking your immense power back today. The enemy thought they could bury you under their thick and heavy lies, but they completely forgot that you are a resilient seed. The matrix thrives on your deep confusion and your constant self-doubt. They want you to believe that you are incredibly difficult to truly love. They constantly project their own deep insecurities onto your beautiful and innocent spirit. But I am here to tell you the absolute truth today. You are a masterpiece of God, and your pure frequency is completely untouchable by their dark hands. The spiritual exhaustion you felt was simply your body fighting off a massive demonic infection. Your soul recognized the danger long before your logical mind could comprehend the real threat. That is why you felt physically sick around certain toxic people. Your intuition was screaming at you to run away from their dark and heavy presence. Heaven was actively pulling you back to complete safety. You are a truly anointed and powerful chosen one. You carry a pure frequency that naturally exposes the hidden demons hiding inside other people. Your bright light forces the dark shadows to finally reveal their true and ugly shapes. That makes the spiritual sleepers incredibly uncomfortable around you. They cannot hide their selfish intentions when you walk confidently into the crowded room. The hardest part of this test was learning to stop saving people who are completely committed to their own destruction. You had to learn the difficult difference between helping someone and allowing them to destroy you. God watched you struggle deeply with this painful and confusing lesson, but you finally closed the heavy iron door. You firmly stopped giving your sacred pearls to the wild swine. This is the exact moment the dark system totally and completely collapsed. The moment you chose to protect your own energy, the matrix lost its firm grip on your life. They can no longer siphon your divine and beautiful power. They are desperately starving in the dark right now. The spiritual cords have been completely severed, and your vital life force is rushing back. You are standing proudly on the very edge of a massive revelation. The spiritual realm is actively preparing your grand table. But there are 3 very specific signs that prove your enemy has finally been defeated. Many chosen ones fail to recognize these quiet signs, and they miss the blessing entirely. I will reveal exactly what they are in just a moment. Listen very closely to this next important message. You have officially starved the toxic system of your beautiful and bright energy. They are desperately trying to find a new source to drain, but heaven has sealed your spiritual borders completely tight. There are 3 silent and profound signs that prove the enemy is totally collapsing right now. You need to recognize these exact signs today to confirm your ultimate victory. Sign number 1 is a sudden and unexplainable quietness inside your own mind. For months you battled severe mental fog and endless racing thoughts at 3 in the morning. You constantly replayed painful conversations, and you wondered how you could have fixed those completely broken situations. The enemy used your massive empathy to keep your brain stuck in a miserable dark loop. But today that chaotic internal noise has completely and absolutely stopped. You woke up recently and realized your head feels incredibly clear and strangely peaceful. This is not a coincidence at all. The spiritual broadcast of heavy anxiety has been cut off by divine intervention, and your powerful mind is finally resting securely inside the untouchable fortress of God. Sign number 2 is a profound and complete emotional detachment from your past abusers. You used to care so deeply about their harsh opinions, and you desperately wanted to prove them wrong so they would finally see your true worth. But suddenly you feel absolutely nothing towards them anymore. The burning anger has totally and completely vanished. You do not even want an apology from those toxic people today. This strange neutrality is a massive spiritual milestone for a chosen one like you. It means the dark energy cords have been fully severed from your gentle heart, and they can no longer trigger your deep wounds to steal your bright light. You are completely immune to their pathetic manipulation tactics now. Sign number 3 is intense confusion and panic breaking out inside the enemy camp. The group of people who secretly came against you are starting to turn on each other. The dark matrix always requires a pure scapegoat to absorb its heavy toxicity. You were their favorite innocent target for many long years. But since you finally walked away, they are starving. They have nobody left to blame for their own miserable failures. So they are viciously attacking one another in the dark. The nasty rumors they spread about you are completely backfiring, and God is returning their heavy karma directly back to their own front doors. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your good name today. Heaven is acting as your fierce defense attorney right now. If you are experiencing these 3 profound signs today, it means you have officially passed the hardest spiritual test, and the universe has verified your quiet endurance. You prove that your royal frequency cannot be shattered by human betrayal. You are a cycle breaker of the highest possible order. The Holy Spirit is actively preparing to compensate you for everything the Matrix stole. Your beautiful name is being spoken in the highest courts of heaven right this very second. But there is a massive shift happening in the unseen realm that you must understand before the final blessing arrives. A divine and sacred decree is about to be released. God is literally changing the entire frequency of your surrounding atmosphere. You have felt this intense pressure building up over the last few days, and it feels exactly like a heavy thunderstorm is about to finally break wide open. I am going to explain exactly what is shifting in the unseen spirit world right now. Take a deep breath and prepare your heart. The Matrix tried to convince you that this dark waiting period would last forever, and they desperately wanted you to surrender your bright hope right before the massive finish line. But heaven has officially marked this exact moment in time for your divine elevation. The scales of cosmic justice are tipping heavily in your absolute favor today. You are stepping out of the painful shadows. Every single tear you cried in secret was actively watering the seeds of your grand harvest, and the universe absolutely did not waste a single drop of your profound sorrow. Your silent endurance was actually the powerful currency required to purchase this unprecedented spiritual breakthrough. The old chaotic chapter of your life is officially and permanently closed. A magnificent new reality is openly calling your name. Listen very carefully to the powerful vibration of this specific message today. You are no longer the broken victim of a cruel human system, but you are a triumphant and radiant warrior who successfully navigated the darkest valleys. I need you to deeply understand the exact nature of the heavenly decree that is forming above your head. The true and massive blessing is finally here. The spiritual atmosphere around you is vibrating with an intense and holy energy right now. God is speaking your beautiful name in the highest courts of heaven today, and the angels are rejoicing loudly because you successfully passed the hardest test. The Supreme Creator is actively confirming your divine identity in front of everyone. Your weary soul has officially crossed the sacred finish line of this brutal spiritual marathon. The dark matrix is trembling because they hear the undeniable sound of your sudden validation. They knew this glorious day was coming for you. The enemy tried desperately to delay this exact moment by keeping you constantly distracted and emotionally exhausted. But heaven operates on a perfect and untouchable divine timeline. You are exactly where you need to be. Your specific name is echoing loudly through the sacred corridors of the unseen world. Every time a chosen one is fully validated, the frequency of the earth physically shifts. The universe is stretching and expanding to accommodate your brand new spiritual authority, and you are no longer vibrating at the low and desperate level of basic human survival. The heavy poverty mindset is completely and permanently breaking off your entire bloodline. Heaven just upgraded your spiritual clearance to the highest possible level. You now have unrestricted access to the deepest vaults of divine provision and absolute peace. The giant iron doors that were previously locked are violently swinging open for you today. The dark forces are actively stepping back in complete and utter fear. They absolutely cannot touch a human vessel that is vibrating at this magnificent level of pure heavenly light. Your renewed energy field is literally blinding to the spiritual parasites. They are scattering into the shadows because your brilliant light exposes all of their hidden lies. This is exactly why you might feel a strange tingling sensation right now. A sudden wave of deep and unexplained peace is gently washing over your physical body. Your biological system is rapidly adjusting to the massive influx of this sacred energy, and you are being completely rewired from the inside out by the Holy Spirit. You are entirely safe here. Take one slow, deep breath and fully receive this specific divine activation. You are being quietly downloaded with ancient wisdom and absolute clarity for the road ahead. God is literally handing you the golden spiritual keys to your brand new kingdom. But these magnificent keys require a very specific and grounded posture of the human heart. You simply cannot hold this massive blessing with trembling and fearful hands. The universe needs you to stand incredibly tall and confident in this sacred space today. You must absolutely shed the false and heavy identity of a broken victim. You are a conquering victor and a true masterpiece of God who survived the darkest and most terrifying valleys. The heavenly angels are actively removing the heavy invisible chains from your weary ankles. You are stepping gracefully into a profound season of unprecedented favor and unmerited grace. Every single painful delay you recently experienced was actually heaven preparing the massive stage, and the bright spotlight of divine justice is shining directly on you. The Supreme Creator is proudly presenting you to the spiritual realm as a faithful warrior. You kept your bright faith alive when absolutely everything around you was totally falling apart. You trusted the quiet whispers of the Holy Spirit over the loud screams of the chaotic matrix. That extraordinary level of deep trust requires a massive heavenly reward. The frequency of your daily life is about to change in very physical and tangible ways. You will suddenly attract incredible opportunities that require absolutely zero painful striving. The right people will seamlessly walk into your life, and they will always honor your boundaries. You will easily recognize the true helpers because they carry a matching peaceful vibration. Your days of begging for basic human decency are officially and permanently over. You are entering a sacred chapter where your quiet presence automatically commands deep respect. The unseen realm is heavily guarding your physical space and your emotional energy, and nothing is allowed to enter your environment without the express permission of the Holy Spirit. But before God completely drops this massive blessing into your waiting hands, we need to prepare. You must know exactly how to manage and protect this beautiful and sacred gift. Many chosen ones accidentally lose their profound blessings because they talk too much. The enemy uses their excited words to intercept the delivery and steal the glorious harvest. I need you to deeply understand the strict rules of spiritual stewardship in this new season. The massive reward is literally floating right above your weary head right now. But you must learn how to properly catch it without dropping it in the dirt. Listen carefully as I reveal the crucial instructions for maintaining this exact frequency of abundance. You are standing on the very edge of the ultimate breakthrough right now. The heavy spiritual clouds are finally parting to reveal your bright destiny. But heaven requires your complete cooperation to land this massive blessing safely. You must physically prepare your human vessel to receive this immense divine weight. A fractured cup cannot hold pure and sacred water. The first and most crucial rule of this new season is absolute silence. When the massive blessing finally arrives, you must keep your mouth completely shut. Do not rush to tell your friends or your extended family about your sudden good fortune. The dark matrix constantly monitors your spoken words to find weak spots in your spiritual armor, and they will use your own innocent excitement to intercept your beautiful harvest. Your absolute secrecy is required today. The people who betrayed you do not deserve a front-row seat to your glorious victory. If you share your divine plans prematurely, their jealousy will send a wave of dark energy directly into your fresh soil. You must learn to celebrate your massive wins quietly in the presence of the Holy Spirit, because your sudden success will ultimately speak entirely for itself. Your silence is your greatest weapon today. The second absolute rule is maintaining fierce and unapologetic boundaries. The moment heaven releases this profound abundance into your life, the spiritual sleepers will suddenly try to return. They will mysteriously text you and apologize for their past mistakes. They will claim they have completely changed. But this is a desperate trap designed to siphon your brand new wealth. Do not ever open the heavy iron door for the people who left you bleeding in the dark. You are officially released from the heavy burden of healing people who want to stay totally broken. Your divine assignment to save them is permanently over, and you must guard your sacred space like a ruthless and powerful king. Do not feel guilty for protecting the immense peace God gave you. If you allow those energy vampires back into your inner circle, you will immediately lose the pristine frequency of this blessing. Heaven trusts you with this massive deposit because you proved you can walk entirely alone. You must show the universe that you respect yourself enough to say no loudly. Your gentle heart must become a locked fortress that only the Holy Spirit can enter. The third and final rule of stewardship is clearing your mind of all remaining resentment. You simply cannot carry the heavy baggage of the painful past into this glorious and bright future. You must absolutely forgive the people who hurt you, but you do not forgive them for their sake. You forgive them to completely sever the final dark cord that connects them to your precious soul. Let go of the burning need to prove them wrong. Let go of the deep desire for a worldly apology that you will never actually receive. The Supreme Creator is stepping in to multiply what the cruel enemy stole from you. You do not need their pathetic validation. Heaven has already confirmed your royal name. Drop the heavy resentment right now and free your weary hands entirely. Your hands must be completely empty to catch the massive reward that is falling from the sky today. Take a very deep and slow breath right now. Feel the old toxic energy leaving your physical body through your fingertips. You are actively shedding the heavy and suffocating skin of the broken victim. You are stepping fully into the magnificent shoes of the quiet and triumphant victor. The atmosphere in your room is changing very rapidly right now. The angels are forming a tight protective circle around your physical location to guard this sacred transition. They are sealing every single crack in your spiritual armor. You have successfully cleaned your house and swept away the dark shadows of the past. Your beautiful vessel is finally pure and completely ready. You have passed the hardest test, and you have learned the strict rules of divine stewardship. You understand how to protect your peace and guard your sacred silence. The universe is incredibly proud of the resilient warrior you have become in the dark. There is absolutely nothing left for you to do except stand still and receive your grand inheritance. The waiting is completely over. Do not let the Matrix distract your precious attention in these final moments. The dark system will try to send a sudden loud noise or a random notification to break your deep concentration. Ignore all of the outside worldly distractions completely. Keep your spiritual eyes locked firmly on the divine horizon. You are about to witness the absolute raw power of the Supreme Creator. I am about to release the ultimate decree over your entire life. This is the exact moment the massive spiritual dam breaks open and washes away all your debts. The supreme command is forming on my lips right this very second. Prepare your heart for the greatest spiritual shift of your entire existence. The Holy Spirit is about to speak directly to your beautiful and tired soul. In the mighty name of the Supreme Creator, I declare right now that your long and brutal season of suffering is permanently over. The heavy spiritual dam that held back your divine destiny has completely shattered. The highest courts of heaven have reviewed your profound tears and your quiet endurance. The final verdict is absolutely flawless. You have been found completely worthy. Remember that terrifying isolation we spoke about at the very beginning of this message? Remember the painful doors that slammed shut in your face? Here is the ultimate truth that the enemy desperately tried to hide from you. That rejection was your ultimate protection. God did not close those doors to deny you, but He closed them because entering too early would have completely destroyed you. The isolation was a sacred divine quarantine. God was aggressively cleansing your inner circle so He could safely drop this mega deposit directly into your waiting hands. And right now, at this exact moment in the history of the universe, the Creator is standing up from the heavenly throne. The ultimate gavel has struck the heavy wooden table of cosmic justice. The supreme command is echoing violently through the unseen realm today. Release the blessing. The angels are moving swiftly on your behalf. The heavy iron gates of heaven are swinging wide open, and an unprecedented wave of divine compensation is pouring directly into your physical reality. You are receiving double portions for all your past troubles. I break every single generational cycle of deep poverty and crippling anxiety that has tried to wrap its dark chains around your mind. The horrific cycle of struggle completely stops with you. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. I decree that the heavy and suffocating mantle of basic survival mode is completely falling off your tired shoulders right in this exact second. You are no longer surviving on the tiny crumbs of the broken matrix. You are stepping gracefully into a massive and divine abundance that your ancestors only dreamed about. Every single year that the enemy stole from your precious life is being fully restored to you right now. The financial delay is completely shattered. The deep emotional starvation is entirely finished today. And what about the people who actively tried to ruin your beautiful name? The universe is completely flipping the script on your hidden enemies. Those who sat at tables and spoke poorly of your pure character are about to witness God prepare a magnificent feast for you right in front of their eyes. You do not have to lift a single physical finger to defend yourself ever again. Heaven is stepping in as your ruthless and undefeated defense attorney. The deep confusion they maliciously tried to cast onto your life is rapidly returning to their own dark camp. Watch them panic as your profound peace becomes entirely untouchable by their toxic hands. The trap they carefully set for you has just become their own permanent spiritual prison. Your profound vindication is completely absolute and entirely public. God is raising your bright profile while simultaneously lowering their dark influence. The spiritual scales are permanently rebalanced today. You are taking back every single piece of sacred ground that the dark system tried to steal from your royal bloodline. Your ultimate victory is undeniably clear. Breathe it out right now. Exhale the heavy trauma of the past 10 long years. Your physical body is finally recognizing that the intense spiritual war is over. The battle you fought silently for your entire family tree has been decisively won. You have crossed the raging river, and your feet are standing firmly on the solid rock of your brand new reality. A mega deposit of absolute clarity, massive wealth, and supreme health is actively downloading into your spirit. The universe has officially handed you the golden keys to the brand new kingdom. You are a true masterpiece of God, and nobody can ever take this glorious crown away from your head. The dark matrix has totally surrendered, and your light has conquered the heavy shadows. The chaotic storm has finally passed, and the bright morning sun is breaking through the thick clouds. You have endured the absolute worst, and you have emerged entirely victorious. But the transition from a fierce warrior to a quiet king requires one final and deeply important step. You must seal this massive blessing so it remains permanently secure. Listen very carefully as we enter the most sacred and peaceful moment of this entire divine encounter. The rushing waters of the blessing are flowing gently into your peaceful life now. We must build a solid and quiet fortress around this brand new energy. Do not let your focus slip as we move into the final and holy sealing of your beautiful destiny. The roaring wind has finally died down. The heavy storm that battered your soul for years has completely vanished. You are standing in the pristine light of a brand new morning. And the very first thing you notice is the profound and beautiful silence. This is not the terrifying silence of isolation anymore. This is the magnificent silence of absolute victory. You have finally arrived. Look around your brand new spiritual kingdom. The chaos is entirely gone. The constant daily emergencies have simply disappeared. You no longer wake up with your heart racing in a complete panic. That heavy survival mode is completely stripped away from your physical and spiritual body. You are breathing deeply and freely for the very first time in a decade. The peace you feel right now is entirely permanent. Let the people from your past completely misunderstand you. Let them assume whatever they want to assume about your sudden distance. You no longer need to explain your precious soul to people who are completely committed to misunderstanding your spirit. You have officially entered the sacred sanctuary of quiet authority. Your energy is incredibly expensive now. You simply cannot spend it on their cheap drama. From this exact moment forward, your pure presence alone will command immense respect. You do not need to argue or defend your righteous position. Your silence will be your absolute greatest weapon against the fading matrix. When you walk into a room, the dark shadows will naturally scatter without you saying a single word. You are walking in the immense power of the true Anointed One. But you must guard this magnificent peace with your entire life. Do not look back at the burning bridges behind you. Do not try to rescue the people who chose to stay in the dark and heavy ruins. Your divine assignment to heal them is permanently over. You must protect your royal frequency by keeping your inner circle incredibly small and absolutely pure. Heaven demands your strict obedience in this new season. As you step forward into this effortless abundance, remember to walk with deep and humble grace. You carry the massive weight of a broken generational curse that is now fully healed. You are the cycle breaker who actually survived the impossible fire. The universe trusts you with this mega deposit because you have a beautiful and pure heart. Use this profound blessing to build a quiet and beautiful life. We are going to seal this divine energy right now. I need you to participate in a physical declaration of agreement. Gently like this video, not for a worldly algorithm, but as a physical and powerful seal to the universe that you are in perfect alignment. Let this simple action serve as a spiritual signature on the heavenly decree that was just issued over your beautiful life today. Type 777 in the comments below right now. We do not do this for visibility or public attention. We do it to completely lock the sacred frequency of this specific moment. When you type those numbers, you are actively telling the unseen realm that you fully accept your magnificent inheritance. You are claiming the massive breakthrough that God just miraculously released. Share this specific message with someone your spirit brings to mind right now. Heaven knows exactly who they are, and they are probably crying in the dark just like you used to cry. You do not need to explain the video to them. Just send it as a silent and powerful lifeline. Your gentle obedience might be the exact miracle they have been desperately praying for all day long. The Matrix will absolutely try to distract you in the coming days. The enemy wants to intercept your future messages and cause you to stumble in the dark again. Subscribe to this safe sanctuary and turn on the bell right now. Do this so the dark system cannot block the next prophetic instruction heaven has prepared for your journey. You must protect your direct access to the divine light. You are a stunning masterpiece of God. The scars on your soul are shining brightly like polished gold today. You fought the brutal unseen battles while the entire world slept deeply in the dark. And because of your quiet endurance, your bloodline will never experience that crushing poverty or deep anxiety ever again. You successfully changed the destiny of your entire family tree forever. Close your eyes for one brief moment. Take the deepest breath you have taken all year. Exhale every last drop of doubt and lingering fear. The spiritual war is completely over, and the dark enemy is entirely defeated. You are abundantly blessed. You are fiercely protected by the highest angels. And you are finally free to live in absolute and untouchable peace. Stay completely silent. Stay incredibly grounded in your brand new truth. Watch heaven continue to move miraculously on your behalf. The quiet victor has officially taken the glorious throne today. Rest well, chosen one, because your beautiful and golden season has finally begun.